Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we've got another relatively small unboxing. I recently, actually today, just received in the mail a nice little game, which you may or may not have heard of, from a relatively famous, if you're, in on stuff, developer. Looking Glass, we have Terra Strike Force Centauri. I picked this up for about $15, including shipping, I believe, so it was pretty cheap. It's actually kind of surprising because you don't usually find, I haven't seen many box copies of this. There's a lot of jewel cases around. In fact, actually, what I've owned up until now has been a jewel case of this game. But yeah, I'm glad to get this. It's pretty cheap. Terra is from Looking Glass, who created, in case you didn't know, System Shock, Thief, all kinds of good stuff. Ultima Underworld, very famous people. This is actually a mech game, sort of. It's a squad-based mech game, mission-based, with Wing Commander style full motion video little vignettes in between missions. It is sort of like a cross between Mech Warrior and Wing Commander, and I don't really know why it didn't take off, because it really is a really good game. I have played some of it. It's a pretty dang good little game and very advanced for its time. I believe one of the reasons it wasn't so popular was A, people thought it looked like a Mech Warrior clone, despite its being Looking Glass, who never disappoints. And B, it was kind of intensive at the time because it was using software 3D rendering and all that good stuff, and the old 386s weren't cutting the mustard, I guess. But let's take a look. It's got a nice big box. This is actually a pretty decent condition. I believe this came out in around 1994, thereabouts. But yeah, you can see from the creators of Ultima Underworld and System Shock. Yeah, Looking Glass. Multiplayer pack coming soon. I actually wonder if that ever happened. Somehow I doubt it. It wasn't very successful. Kick butt. Okay, we know this is a 90s game. Let's take a look. What's inside? Yeah, but I mean, really, it's not a well-known Looking Glass game, but it is a pretty dang good game. Runs well in DOSBox, thankfully, on modern systems, so you don't have to worry about the system requirements bit anymore. There we go. One hand taking it off. That's why they pay me the big bucks. All right, we got your jewel case, which pretty straightforward. I believe this game does use CD audio, and like I said, it does have your FMV videos, which is probably why it needed to be on CD. And at this point anyway, pretty much everything was on CD anyway, so let's get rid of that. What do we have here? We've got us a manual with illustrations. That's a thick manual there, and guess what? It's all in English. It's not half Spanish or half English or whatever to inflate the size. It's all English. That's a manual, folks. Alright, and what do we got? We've got a Virgin Interactive catalog, because I believe that's who published this. It was not an EA published thing. This was actually after that period. We got 11th Hour, which is a game I have not played, an adventure game, and sequel to 7th Guest, I believe. Yep, and there's 7th Guest right there. Clandestiny. Now, I have heard of that game. Toonstruck. Now, that's another adventure game I need to play. That was support was recently added for that in the ScumVM engine, which is kind of cool. Ye Olde Command and Conquer. Okay, wait a minute. If it's Command and Conquer, maybe it is EA. It says distributed by Virgin and Westwood. Maybe that was, I guess that was before EA got a hold of it. Monopoly, IndyCar, NASCAR, boring. Flight Unlimited. Now, that is another lesser known Looking Glass game, and that's supposed to be a pretty decent flight sim. I need to get a hold of that one. And then here we've got Terra. Yeah, Terra, I may try to include some gameplay footage of it towards the end of the video to give you an idea what I'm talking about in regards to the gameplay. But anyway, Heart of Darkness, which I believe I've heard of. That's an interesting platformer. Rivers of Dawn, never heard of it. Screamer, well, that's actually available on GOG.com. It's an interesting little arcade racer. Alien Alliance, Zone Raiders, never heard of that either. NFL, NFL, Tri-Trist. Combines columns and Tetris. Well, that could be interesting. Hyper 3D Pinball. Promised Land. Enter the provocative and mystical world that exists in the psyche of the multi-platinum rock and roll band Queen Schreier. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not up on these band names, so if I'm butchering that, I'm sure you people in the comments will tell me how to pronounce it. Anyway, so apparently that's an adventure game based on a band's album release. Yeah, moving on. Alright, Siberia 2, which a demo for Siberia 2 was actually, I believe, included on the disc of this game. The Daedalus Encounter. I have not heard of that game. Agile Warrior F111X. I remember hearing about that game, actually. Decathlon. Spot Goes to Hollywood. And then some, relegated to the back page of the catalog are some 3DO games. That's very fitting, I guess. And coming soon, Lands of Lore, Z, Scavenger, Iron Assault, Carandia Book 3. Yeah, interesting. Alright, so that's that. What else we got? 5 lucky winners will receive special custom-made versions of Terra that feature their own picture as a member of Strike Force Centauri. Other prizes include t-shirts, hats, and more. Send in your registration card today or register online. Hooray! At www.lglass.com. Oh snap. Looking Glass, why did you leave us? Why did you go? Alright, anyway. And the ever-present plug to buy the strategy guide for a reasonable sum of only $19.99. In case you can't play it. Alright. Oh ho! Subscription card for PC Gamer. Back when, that was kind of a nice thing and a big deal. Alright, what we got there? Free issue. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Orange, special demo enclosed, Siberia 2, on your Terra CD. A joystick is highly recommended. And we have what appears to be an empty envelope. Okay. And then we have the ubiquitous DOS install guide. Which, if this was a game released today, this would be the only paper in the box. So, yeah. There's Terra Nova. Nice little package, nice little box. Not too obscure, but somewhat uncommon game. Yeah, so I got a good price on it. I'm happy about it. Now I can get rid of that jewel case copy and pack up the box copy in my collection. What I'm shooting for next, however, and we may, hopefully, assuming everything goes well, I may be able to get my hands on a box copy of Full Throttle, which that will be an exciting event. Anyway, signing off.